Maayong hapon Negros Oriental, magandang hapon Pilipinas. Usap tayo. Duterte's unprecedented rendition to The Hague. A Marcos power play disguised as justice. The swift arrest and extradition of former Philippine President Rodrigo Duterte to The Hague is an event unprecedented in the country's legal and political history. No former Philippine leader has ever been subjected to such a rapid international prosecution. What made Duterte different? The answer lies not in justice, but in politics, specifically President Ferdinand Marcos Jr.'s calculated move to neutralize a powerful rival. The Marcos administration's uncharacteristic speed, Philippine law enforcement is notorious for its sluggishness in dealing with high-profile cases, whether involving extradition or domestic prosecution. Hindi po kadali. Alam natin yan lahat. Ang hustisya dito sa Pilipinas, much more, which involves a former president and sending a former head of state sa ibang bansa. Never in the history of the Philippines na ganyan kadali, ganyan kabilis. In the instance, the Philippine National Police, through CIDG Chief Major General Torre, moved with lightning speed. Ang bilis, di ba? Pagdating ng Pangulo sa NAIA, sa umaga, in less than 24 hours, wala na ang dating Presidente Duterte. Duterte was arrested upon arrival from a foreign trip, and within 24 hours, he was on a plane to The Hague. The Supreme Court did not even have the time to deliberate on the multiple legal motions filed to challenge his arrest and rendition. Ang kampo ni dating Presidente Duterte ng writ of habeas corpus at TRO, which was denied but already after nakaalis na po ang dating Presidente. Hindi man lang hinintay ang desisyon. Pending pa po ang writ of habeas corpus. So, whatever the decision on that petition filed by Kitty, her daughter, at sa isa pa niyang anak ni Baste, hindi pa po yan nadinig. And who knows ano ang desisyon dyan. DOJ Secretary John Vic Remulla and DOJ Secretary Jesus Crispin Remulla justified this urgency, claiming that failure to comply with the ICC would ruin the country's reputation, international law enforcement, particularly Interpol. But this argument collapsed under scrutiny. The Interpol myth, a convenient excuse. Diba? Pati si Presidente Bongbong, sabi niya, pag hindi tayo sumunod sa utos ng Interpol, masisira tayo. Wala na tayong kredibilidad. Interpol, which operates under its own constitution, does not compel immediate action on arrest warrants. Alam po natin yan. Maraming fugitive under na may arrest ng Interpol. May mga red notices na nagtatago dito sa Pilipinas or mga Pilipino who is overseas. A prime example, si Aine Tadas is still in Timor-Leste, undergoing through the process dahil yun nga tinatawag nila going through the judicial process, the due process na binibigay accorded sa kanya as someone who is seeking asylum. So may proseso sila. So ang tanong, bakit ang ating sariling dating presidente minadali? Hindi man lang makapaghintay, makadesisyon ang ating prema. What was the rush? In fact, numerous fugitives, including Filipinos, have remained Interpol's notice list for years without any consequence for the countries that refuse to extradite them. So, it was not the gigirahin tayo ng Interpol pag hindi tayo nag-comply. So, ang bilis. Ano bang minamadali? Consider the following cases. Si Vladimir Putin, may warrant din yan ng ICC. The big difference? Because the Russian government will not arrest its own head of state. Ganyan din, the same case. Kay Benjamin Netanyahu, hindi mag-cooperate ang infrastruktura ng Israel, ang gobyerno ng Israel, and arrest their own head of state, gaya ni Putin. Med Harun Abdel Rahim Hussein of Sudan. So they have warrants pending for over a decade. Tamang ginawa ang ICC or Interpol kung ilang taon na, isang dekada na may isang wanted So, ang tanong, what was the rush? If Interpol truly required states to act within hours, figures like Netanyahu, Vladimir Putin would have been arrested already. But, hindi po at wala pong sinasabi sa Interpol na pag may warrant na inalabas ang ICC, it has to be done ora mismo or else face the consequence. Marami pong mga wanted who's been wanted by the ICC and the Interpol for years, if not decades. Pong ginawa ang kanilang sariling mga bansa which they came from. Pending pa po ang kanilang mga trial at hindi sila nadala sa Hague. Even the Philippines, in the past, has ignored numerous Interpol requests. Marami na pong requests in the past ng gobyerno ng Pilipinas. Ini-ignore nila to. And then, all of a sudden, prioritize compliance for Duterte. On whose order? Yan ang tanong sa karamihan ngayon. Real motivation. Kaya nga magtatanong, is it really to seek justice or is it Marcos' political survival? The true reason behind Duterte's swift extradition is not legal but political, observers would say. Duterte remains of the most influential figures in the Philippine politics. His daughter, Vice President Sara Duterte, is a serious contender for the presidency in 2028. A strong Duterte presence could threaten Marcos' hold on power, especially if the Duterte camp challenges his administration's control. Pag nagposisyon po yan sa 2025 pa lang, if Duterte is around, analysts are saying things could change, especially in the senatorial race. Keeping Duterte off to The Hague, Marcos accomplishes several things. He eliminates a major political rival who could rally opposition forces in the next election. Totoo po yan. Like it or not, a Duterte fan or not, President Digong is still a big crowd draw. Wherever he goes, nakikita niyo po yan sa Negros Oriental pag bumisita yan. Nagpapanik po ang ating gobernador. Mobilize the whole Ogno po para harangan lang kasi mag-rally lang si Duterte. It's the same effect nationwide wherever he goes. People still adores the old man. He weakens the Duterte brand sa ginawa ni Marcos na tanggalin sa Pilipinas si Duterte at biglang lipad sa The Hague, making it harder for Sara Duterte to build her own national campaign. O yung mga kaalyado ng mga Duterte na tumatakbong senador. And for the local races, marami na pong nakaschedule ng mga politiko na iimbitahan si Presidente, si VP Sara. First priority bilang isang anak. She has to tend to her dad who's by himself in The Hague in a foreign land. Matanda na po si Presidente. So yun po kanina sinasabi ni Inday Sara na I want to be here, I want to stay close sa aking ama until may anak niya na papalit sa kanya. So we have to understand na she also has a duty as Vice President na hindi po siya pwedeng tumagal, which is the next hearing sa September pa po. She cannot stay that long under travel order for weeks. Siya as a government official. And ironically, si Bongbong din ang nagbigay sa kanya ng travel order na yan. Pangatlo, he gains favor with Western allies. Ito yung mga sinasabi ng mga analysts na he gains favor with Western have long criticized the drug war but have generally been identical to the Marcos family's own human rights. There is this double standard kamo. We talk about human rights and all the violations of the martial law with all the dead during the Marcos era, during the dangerous president for the Philippines, sabi nga nila. Bakit? Kasi unang-una, we are the only country, the history of Asia, na nagawa ito. Decision to fast-track Duterte's extradition, bypassing normal legal processes, sets a dangerous precedent. If the Philippine government can send its own former president to a foreign court with such efficiency, who's next? Support the Marcos narrative and it's an advantage to them. But there is no reason to celebrate. Do you know, without an executive order, na kung regular na mamamayan ka lang, hindi mangyari ito. Dadaan ka sa butas ng karayom. Ang sinabi ni John Beck Remulla The Malacanang was the one who arranged and contracted dun sa eroplano. Hindi po ICC yun. Hindi po ganyan kadali. Madala ng eroplano ang ICC. Po silang strike team. Yung nakikita pa sa movie lang to eh. Parang sa movie lang to na nakikita natin papadala ng SEAL team, may i-rescue, may huhulihin na drug lord somewhere, wherever that drug lord is. Hindi po yan sa tunay na buhay, ganyan kabilis kumilos ang ICC. They have to rely on the host state, kamo. And wala silang law enforcement power. They have to coordinate with the Interpol. Eh nung lumabas ang warrant, never in the history of the Interpol na nilabas ang warrant in the same day, nahuli at nadala kaagad sa The Hague without the cooperation of Bongbong Marcos. Si Bongbong Marcos po ang nagdesisyon na in-execute naman ni General Torre sa CIDG. Future political enemies be similarly targeted. That is the fear now. Lahat na lang ba? Yun nga, may maraming joke today na pag may utang ka, papadala ka na lang sa Hague. So, it's like digital infrastructure that we have in this country has just been like, about it, bypass and everything was just like, load him up on the plane and then let's go. Ganyan po kabilis. Yung sinasabi nga nila, pumasok daw, nakuha. Wala nga silang mapapakitang papel nung binasahan ng Miranda rights. Si dating Pangulo Duterte, wala silang mapakita. And there were even questions kung meron ba talagang warrant. They produced it later on. Ganyan kabilis ang mga pangyayari. Dumating siya around 9 a.m. in the morning or midnight. Nakaalis na po yung aeroplano. Ilang oras lang yun. And this isn't about accountability. It's about power. Marcos Jr. is playing a high-stakes game using the ICC as a tool to eliminate competition. But history shows that such tactics have consequences. One day, he find himself in the same position, wondering why his government was so eager to comply. It suited their political agenda. That is the danger of that. Those who are Marcos supporters might be cheering on the decision. Finally, wala na si Duterte. But as regular Filipinos, either you are a Duterte supporter or not, you have a lot to worry about. Pwede pala yun. You mobilize the whole power of the state. Karga ka diretso papunta sa ibang bansa. Bahala ka sa buhay mo. Sasabi nga nila, buti pa si Arnie Terres who's been in Timor-Leste. Every month may trial, mag-appeal pa siya. So the question is, why can't we accord that to our former president? All legal remedies been exhausted, said wala na talaga, you need to leave. At least ginawa at nag-function yung judicial system natin. Yan po ang ating topic for today. Maraming salamat. Mayong hapon Negros Oriental, magandang hapon Pilipinas.